Darren McConkey, Senior Ecosystem Biologist working for the people and wildlife of British Columbia. As a member of the BC General Employees Union, I'm currently on strike with thousands of other public servants, but I'm still talking to the trees. I'm here today with Shed, a male or bull Roosevelt Elk, the largest herbivore on Vancouver Island. What is up, my man? If you don't mind me saying, you smell a little like my work boot liner soaked in urine wrapped around a week-old rotten steak.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, man. So yeah, I do mind you saying that. You're way off anyways. This is my cologne de jour, my specialized glandular secretion personally augmented to make the ladies go wild.
Oh, right, it's that time of year, isn't it? Why don't we start there? Can you tell our audience about the rut and what you do to make the cows, as you say, go wild?
Just to be clear, we ain't talking about bovines like beef or milk cattle. There ain't no hybridization happening here, people. We're talking about the finest ladies in the land. Female Roosies or cow elk, they are also known.
Roger that. No cow elk hybrids out there.
Well, the rut is breeding season, the most important time of the year. Every year us bulls start to regrow our antlers in the late spring and then harden them up in summer. Then we spend a month or so trying to round up some cows to breed with. We call them our harem, and we got all sorts of tricks other than smelling good for that.
Like what?
Oh, singing, posturing, fighting, you know, the usual. And then wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we get intimate, and I'd say the results speak for themselves. Did you know almost 9 out of 10 cows get pregnant every year?
Well, your virility is impressive, Shed, but I can't believe you regrow those massive antlers every year. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, well, it also takes a lot of energy. By the end of the rut, I'm super bagged and take a well-earned little vacay to try and recoup before winter.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about winter, as that would seem to be a hard time for a veggie like you, but first, tell us more about that beguiling scent of yours.
Well, you know how some folks really love the smell of their own farts?
Huh?
It's kind of like that, but not really. We've got glands that are full of pheromones and smells that the cows go crazy over. They even love the smell of our pee. One of my patented moves is called wallowing, where I find some dirt and mud in a puddle and then I lay down in a gold shower, rub it all over, rolling back and forth and cover myself with that glorious personal augmentation I mentioned earlier.
I get it now, and the cows actually like this. It sounds a little disgusting.
You don't have a clue, fool. Dude, they don't like it. They love it.
Shed, did you know that ecosystem biologists on Vancouver Island started to study with several First Nations to study these wallows?
Is that where all those cameras came from?
It could be.
I thought it was a bunch of perverts trying to catch us in the act.
No, we're trying to learn more about these areas to help protect them, as they seem to be really important centers of activity.
Centers of activity? I like that. I'm going to use that one.
We hope this study continues, but with ecosystem biologists on strike, it's going to be a challenge to keep it going.
That's bull. You need to get back to work.
That's a funny expression coming from you, Shed. We'll be on strike until the province comes back to the bargaining table with a fair offer that will help us continue to work hard for the people and wildlife of BC. You mentioned singing, Shed. I didn't know elk sang.
Oh, we make all sorts of noises. Chirps and tweets. It's how we keep in touch in the forest when we can't see each other. And during the rut, us bulls bugle to help attract cows and warn other bulls to stay away.
What does that sound like?
Well, when I get to bugling, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like seeing, you know, that Celine Dion and like Whitney Houston. It's like Celine Dion and Whitney Houston had a child who showed up for a karaoke contest.
Say what?
Okay, like Vince Carter in the 2000 NBA Slam Dunk Contest.
I'm not following you, Shed.
It's over.
Well, I hope to hear you bugle one day, Shed. I know you're from Vancouver Island, but Roosevelt Elk are also on the mainland, right?
Yep, as we dominate both sides of the Salish Sea.
How are they doing anyways?
They're doing great, despite the fact you biologists got this crazy local Jekyll and Hyde thing going on with us.
What do you mean by that, Shed?
Let me break it down for you. Back in the day, we used to live up and down the coast, and the settlers arrived, and other than a small population on one river in the Central Coast, you pretty much wiped us out on the mainland. We were still doing okay on the island, but the numbers were down there too.
Whoa, that sounds serious.
Yeah, not good. Our numbers were so low they started calling us a species at risk. But I'll get to that later. Then thankfully, provincial biologists started translocating elk, first from Vancouver Island, then from a re-established population on the Sunshine Coast, to all sorts of places where we used to live.
That's a great wildlife population recovery story. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, those provincial wildlife biologists are a great bunch. Unfortunately, a lot of them are also on strike.
Doesn't sound like anybody at the province is working for us right now. That makes me nervous. Yeah, well, we're still recovering. Populations have been increasing on the coast for decades now. Enough so that they're large enough to sustainably hunt in some areas. Now do you see the irony?
No, I don't.
Yeah, let's recover the species at risk by eating it. Come on, give us a chance, will you?
Overall, I think provincial biologists feel pretty good about your conservation status, Shed. So do a number of First Nations that sustainably hunt you for food, social, and ceremonial purposes. I know there are some populations that could be larger, but I doubt you'll be considered at risk for much longer. You're a wildlife management success story, and wildlife and ecosystem biologists from the province had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, well, you make sure to tell me that when I'm mounted on somebody's wall one day.
Fair enough, Shed. I hate to say it, but we're out of time. We never got around to talking about how you survive in winter, so we'll have to save that conversation for another day. Darren McConkey, Senior Ecosystem Biologist, currently on strike, but still talking to the trees.
Why they call the show that anyways? I ain't no tree fool. And weren't you just talking to some birds?